All right, welcome everybody to today's press conference, Leading the Way in Sustainable Heating Solutions, here at ISH 2025 in Frankfurt. My name is Clemens Petzold. I'm the head of marketing for DACH region here in Panasonic HVAC Europe. And thank you all for being here and having followed our invitation. Today we're having a quite fully packed agenda, so that's why we'll start right now. First of all, I would like to introduce today's speakers. So let's begin with Mr. Hiroshi Komatsubara. He is CEO of Panasonic Heating Group. Then we have Mr. Enrique Vilamitjana, Managing Director of Panasonic HVAC Europe. And we have Mr. José Alves, Regional Director of UK, Ireland, and DACH region. So once our management has given their individual presentations, you will of course have the possibility to ask all the questions that you're interested in. And that's very important. Once the Q&A session has finished, please remain seated because we will directly continue with our panel discussion, why people are driving heating decarbonization. So let's begin. Mr. Komatsubara, please, it's your turn.
Hello, okay? Okay. Guten Tag, ich bin Hiroshi Komatsubara. I'm in charge of European HVAC business. Thank you for coming today. Under the title of Leading the Way in Sustainable Heating Solution, I will introduce our true corporate purpose and overall strategy as Panasonic HVAC. How to do it? Cannot. Wait a moment. Wait a moment. Touch なのね。Okay. Okay. Listen. Okay, sorry. Looking 100 years ahead, we must pass along this planet to our children so they can continue to live in comfort. Therefore, we have to suppress global warming by any all means. In addition, we must minimize the use of limited national resources and establish a healthy circular economy as soon as possible. To this end, we need to steadily achieve the 1.0 degrees limit of the Paris Agreement and with all urgency minimize the constant CO2 emissions. Therefore, Panasonic regards these goals as top priority issues. Here we announced our long-term view, Panasonic Green Impact, and under this vision, we have been uniting our group-wide efforts. As first milestone, by 2030, we will achieve net zero CO2 emissions in all our operating companies. Toward these goals, in collaboration with our suppliers, we will first cut emissions, and then we will also generate additional impact to reduce emissions. On 4th February last month, Panasonic announced its commitment to focus on the solution areas of energy and SCM. These two areas in which we are committed to contributing to society and developing our groups. Within this large mission, HVAC company set out to contribute to the energy solutions area by utilizing our strengths, including our heat pump business in Europe. We will go for creating markets that utilize the resources and energy without any waste. Here is our HVAC aim as a solution company with our strengthening points which we have differentiated from others. For market, Our products are very much environmentally friendly with R290. With R290, it will do electrification not only for single house, but also multi-family house, also commercial use. We also have product planning, development, and factory in Europe, so we will catch market trend and connect to our business. Regarding our customer, there are installer and end user, and we are always considering issues and requests as a customer-focused approach. For installer, speaking with them, we have touched several requests. For example, depending on product and location, it is necessary high installation capacity and long working time to install. Our big air-to-water aquaria, which released last November, it is reducing construction time with easy installation, and it is covering their safety also. For end user, we can supply comfortable indoor and outdoor living and energy saving with easy operation. Thanks to collaboration with tado, we saw big result to reduce energy costs already, and this usefulness is now spreading. We, as Panasonic, we never stop trying to cover all customers' requests, and we will achieve win-win for all. Oh, sorry. Thank you for listening. This is my end of my presentation. And now, Enrique, who is the head of sales, marketing, and service in Europe, will explain about our direction. Keep watching for our developments. Thank you very much. Vielen Dank.
Thank you very much, and thank you for being here with us today. It's working. That's a very big step. So as Hiro said, so we have a big responsibility, and we need to take action. So we have a big responsibility because giving some data, so probably those data already you know, but 40% of the energy consumption in Europe is made by buildings. And 70% of the CO2 is created by domestic houses, 30% created by commercial houses. So we have 80% of the energy consumption is made by domestic hot water in the private houses. So I think by looking at those numbers, we are all in this business, we understand what is the responsibility of HVAC to bring the CO2 emissions down. But it's not only that. So today we talk about decarbonization, but I think in these times, more than ever, we talk about energy security in Europe. I think probably you will all agree. Not only that, so probably we need to talk about how we can enhance production, R&D, how we can enhance this European setup. And there we have also an important mission because it's not only about understanding it, we need to accelerate this process. We need to accelerate HVAC. And we have, again, big responsibility, and we need to take the action and make the consumer aware. The solution is here. So we need to make possible the integration with energy systems, wider energy setup, that tado probably will support with that a lot. And we need to simplify the customer journey. We have been talking a lot, so we want to enhance heat pump solutions, but this is not happening if the consumer does not really understand what is that about. Which actions Panasonic is taking there? So first of all, and I think we all know, you are all in business, we know probably heat pump has been having challenging times, but Panasonic decided this is an inevitable thing, and we wanted to keep investing, and we have been investing in organization in the last years. We have been setting up R&D facilities. We have set up four factories. So if we look behind 2018, Panasonic had sales, marketing, and service company, and now we have R&D, and we have 4 factories. And we are producing heat pumps made in Europe, and I think even better, developed in Europe. We are creating partnerships because we cannot do this alone. We are creating partnerships with companies like Innova. We will go later on the concept, who will support us in giving a better system. And we are making partnerships with companies with Tado, who will support us in giving easiness, and I would say even more, making the systems even more efficient. And I think when we talk, we always talk about the installer as well. What happens with the installer? Who is training them? How they will understand those solutions? And that's why Panasonic has set up in Europe 39 training centers and keep on installing more and more. And connecting to what Hiro said before, so we need to be CO2 neutral. So we have 4 factories. Out of those 4 factories, 1 will be CO2 neutral by September 2025. And the remaining 3, the one in France producing heat pumps, the one in Italy producing big heat pumps and chillers, and the one in Poland, the last one we have made the acquisition, who is producing refrigeration systems, will be CO2 neutral by 2030. But I think seeing what type of factory we are setting up in Europe is better than you can believe. So let us show you the new factory we are setting in Czech factory, where I think we are setting a new standard in producing heat pumps. Hope you like it, and maybe probably in the future you can also visit it. But now let me go to actually what we want to do. Actually, in the past, we have been selling heat pumps. So we sold, or we tried to bring to customers the source of heating. So as Panasonic, what we want to provide, not only consumers, but also to the installer, is a full solution who can bring the best out of the heat pump. And then that's why, aside of creating heat pumps who are going beyond the single-family house, so not only a 3 kilowatt or a 5 kilowatt, so we are introducing big heat pumps, up to 300 kilowatt, who can provide solutions for a small house, but also for this building, for instance, or for a retailer. But that is not enough. So we need to bring the full solution. So that's why we partnered with Innova, because then we can bring you the heating, but also we can bring you the inner part. So you will have, and we will show later some concrete example where you can really have both sides of the solution. And then adding really an additional fantastic solution will be the partnership with Tado. Because it's not only about having the good heat pump, it's not only about having the right solution in-house, but also to have the right management. And there is where, aside of bringing intelligence to the system, so we are coming with energy savings. And we will see one example. So definitely we are having the source of the heating, the inside part of the house, and the management of the system all together, giving the consumers, giving to the installers, the perfect solution where they can excel the best of the heating. Then if we go to, again, the concept and the solutions, let us introduce 3 solutions that we have already implemented. For instance, we have this Porsche Finance office building. There we applied R290 heat pump. We apply our TCAP technology. Maybe you don't know what is TCAP. TCAP is no matter the temperature you will have outside, the capacity of the heat pump will be kept at 0 degrees, because I think most of you have heard heat pump is not working when it's cold, right? So that with Panasonic is not happening. So then also 300 kilowatt. And there we could realize, as you can see, a saving of 520,000 kilowatt per year, 100,000 euro a year. So that is definitely an ROI of 3.5 years, a really good solution using commercial heat pump in a commercial building. Second solution, so then we go more to a private house. So today, more and more, the houses are much better insulated. As a result, so something that was given for granted, and I think when we come to the North European countries, probably we talk, I need the heating, I don't need the cooling, right? I will open the window, but when the house is so well insulated, even if you open the window, nothing is happening. So then we are bringing solution with our partner with Innova. As you can see, this is a concrete example in UK, where we brought the heat pump, and we also brought the inside part of the house, and then we move from heating radiator to a heating and cooling fan coil. So we could bring the cooling into the picture as well. And then also we have a really good example in Germany, where we brought a heat pump, so with radiator. So we could make a very good saving by installing the heat pump, but there is where the collaboration with tado is coming up. And then we made the comparison. What happens if we install the heat pump? Already a fantastic saving. You see, from 19,000 kilowatt a year, we moved to 10,000 kilowatt a year. Already it's a big saving. But by using tado with the controls, with intelligence of the control, we could go beyond 20% energy saving. So that is giving us also a really good solution that is beyond the words, is showing the facts. So with that, I will conclude my presentation, and I will pass the floor to Jose. Jose is leading our DACH business, and he will explain you in detail all the solutions we are having, we are presenting, and we are introducing very soon in Germany. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Enrique. So let's go a bit more in detail about what type of products we are introducing here in Germany and Europe. And if we start with the first one, which is the heat pumps, here as the key fact is we are already on the second generation of heat pumps that we are introducing. So we are dividing them on 3 different types. The high performance, which goes from 5 kilowatt up to 16 kilowatt, and can be cascaded up to 160 kilowatt. The TCAP, as Enrique said, can maintain the capacity up to -25, and this is the main seller here in Germany, and also in the Nordics, to be honest. And here we are going from 9 kilowatt up to 30 kilowatt, which means that we are already moving from residential business to commercial business. And we can cascade them up to 300 kilowatt. And finally, the AquaG Blue, which is also R290, from 50 to 80 kilowatts, which can be cascaded to 640. Here we are talking already for large buildings and large industry applications. As you can see, I'm talking a lot about cascade, and for that we need to have a cascade controller. So we are introducing 2 different cascade controllers, one for individual buildings. For example, you have one apartment building with several apartments, and then in order to control the energy efficiency remotely, you have this cascade manager. It can be as well for retail, for example. But what happens when you have, for example, retail chains with multiple sites? Then we go for another type, which is multi-site cascade manager, which is able to control all the different sites and compare them in terms of energy saving, for example, performance, to have a mapping about the errors of underperformance, for example. And this will help us to or support our customers on their sustainability and decarbonization journey. So now let's move to the more inside the house. Up today, we had all-in-one tanks to 185 liters. We're now introducing the 260 and 120 liters. 260, it's, for example, for a house, a large house with 3 or 4 bathrooms. 120 will be for small apartments, with probably with only 70 or 80 square meters. But what our mission is to make, of course, the introduction of the heat pumps cheaper. And for that, we have developed the all-in-one, which have everything integrated in order to reduce the time of installation and to make the life of the installer easier, and the planning as well much easier. So inside the all-in-one, which have a footprint of 60 by 60, We have a tank, of course, which is a stainless steel, so for durability. We have a fantastic UV insulation, which is unique on the market, which allows to have our tank an A-rated tank, which is quite unique. We have Wi-Fi inside, of course, backup heater, expansion vessel, variable water pump, which allows as well to cover for small installations up to very large installations, all this inside the unit, and also a filter, which means that the installer have nothing to do, only to plug the all-in-one four pipes, and the machine is running. What more? So we talk about production of domestic hot water, of heating. Let's go inside the house. And this is what Enrique was talking about, partnership with Innova. On the left side, on the right side, we have the commercial fan coils. These ones are the fan coils that we are using and selling today for commercial applications. Very popular, very established market. Somehow, I will say nothing new. On the left side, we have the Acquia smart fan coils. These fan coils are new on the market, very unique, because they are designed for the households. They are silent, they are very nice looking, they have all the technologies we need to have them installed at home. So very well accepted, and on the project that we saw before in the UK, this was this type of products that were installed. And in the middle, we have the mix of both. And this is the new product we're introducing, the FK1, which is a wall-type solution, which is at the same time extremely powerful, so suitable for commercial applications, but at the same time, nice design, a new NanoX filter included on the fan coil, but also we can be connected to a variety of controllers that we have, and some of them very designed. So this is the mix of both of them, which makes really this fan coil very unique. And this is new and will come during this fiscal year, very soon. The last one is the Aquaria loop. This is the technology which works with a water loop for multi-apartments buildings or also commercial applications. And I will recommend to go to our booth to have a look how it works, because it's a bit complex to explain today. But of course, in the booth, we can go much in detail. What more? We are in Germany. In Germany, heat recovery matters. And almost any new house build needs to have heat recovery. But of course, the standards are very high, and for that, we're introducing the Aquaria vent, which is Passive House certified on the full lineup, with as well air quality control, with nice filters, Wi-Fi control, and in order to make, again, the installation easy and a good planning, we're introducing a Vent Pro, which is a software which helps the installer and the design office in order to design and to make the calculations of the airflow drops, for example, in order to make sure that the selection will be correct. Let's go for the next one. So last Chillventa, we have introduced the Power Heat Multi, which is an aircom system dedicated mainly for heating applications for the Nordics. It's a perfect solution for Germany. And we see already today, since we have introduced it in November, very big interest on this type of solutions. So this is a wall type connected to a very nice looking outdoor unit. But then we could not cover the domestic hot water. Now we are introducing a new lineup of domestic hot waters with R290 of 100, 150 liters, 200, and 250 liters. It can cover the full scope of the needs. So we can do with renewables not only the heating, the cooling, but also the domestic hot water. Is that all? Not. Of course, our customers are asking us how to maintain our systems. And we see that's a big topic. When we see in Germany, but not only in Germany, but also in all Europe, they want to buy a fantastic brand, a reliable product, but they want to make sure that we can maintain not only today, for the next 10 years or more. So we have the market have been requested that we develop, as well as a manufacturer, a maintenance package. We have started in Spain, in Italy, in Ireland, some countries in the Nordics, and now we are starting from today in Germany. So we have here a very nice setup. You can see some of the vans that we are already on the field, and we have developed three packages, the Comfort, the Smart, and the Premium, that I will be happy to explain in detail how it's included. in the booth later on. So that was all for my presentation, but it's not finished. We have a last announcement to do. Thank you very much, Christian. I ask you to come here on board.
Yeah, thank you for today. My name is Christian, co-founder and managing director at tado. We're very honored to announce today that Panasonic actually joins tado as the newest investor from today onwards with 30 million euros. And this investment will help us to accelerate our mission to reduce energy consumption and energy cost in private homes. By now, we have about 1 million customers across Europe. And an important product of tado is its smart heat pump optimizer, a device which connects the heat pump with the tado room thermostats, of course with the tado app, but also with your PV on the room, on your roof, with your electric vehicle, and with our tado dynamic energy tariff. So the world-class Akorea heat pumps from Panasonic are an ideal match with our solution. In our partnership, we're bringing our Panasonic and tado products together as one integrated solution to our customers. So we're truly excited and thankful for the trust and the partnership. Arigato.
Arigato, Christian. Vielen Dank. We are now very excited our collaboration, our journey. At Panasonic and tado, our mission is very clear: to create the best solution in this HVAC industry. With tado intelligent energy management and Panasonic industry-leading heat pumps, we can provide the right solution. Again, thank you very much. Vielen Dank.
So then I'd like to invite back our management on stage for the Q&A session, and then we're happy to receive all your questions on today's topics. We'll have a handheld microphone, so you don't need to shout. It's over there. So, any questions?
Do I switch it on? I have a question. Is the association of tado and Panasonic available in France as well?
If the association of tado and Panasonic is available in France as well.
It's on. It's on.
Okay, of course, there is a French customer in tado. Therefore, we have a chance to expand in France also. Yeah. Do you have some comments?
So actually, we are selling our bundled solutions in France, yes. And France last year was a really exciting market for us with a couple of 100% growth versus the previous year due to the coup de pouce governmental subsidy scheme. So therefore, yes, we're definitely also targeting France here together.
Yeah, if I can add, so this investment we have made in tado, that is to approach the complete European market. So in fact, as you know very well, home building in France is very important, and we believe tado plus Panasonic is bringing a really good solution for new homes. So they are working, in fact, we are already working very hard on setting up that business. Is that replying your question?
Yes.
Thank
Would
you.
you like me to ask another because no one's talking?
Please.
No, I actually do not have another question. You should have given me a list when I came in.
Okay, what about I have some?
Yes, please. Wait, one second.
Oh, okay, thank you. Question concerning the heat pump market in Germany. The heat pump business here is going through some rough times and still facing a lot of problems here, decreasing demand. So what are your expectations here for the German market?
Okay, thank you for the question. And in fact, there is two aspects of that. So we have to see where we are coming from. So the market have been massively growing from 2021, 2022, 2023. So I will say even exponential growth, which is not normal. So it is true that now we are coming back to a certain regularity. So if we take a curve, it's still growing compared to 2022, but much less than we had in 2023, for example. So I see the market to the end customer on a very good position. It is true as well that our sell-ins or our sales to our distributors last year have been very difficult. Why is that? Because there was a lot of machines on the warehouses of our distributors. So they had to sell them out. But if they are selling the units, it means that there is a demand on the other side. So end customers are buying these units. And today we are coming to a certain normality, which is very positive. And I can say that I'm not pessimistic at all for the future. Then to give a number, if it's 2, 3, 5, 10, 15%, wow, I will not go on that. It's very, very difficult to understand what will happen. And there's also the political situations that may have some and will have some impact, of course. So we need to be careful with our provisions, for sure. But I'm not at all negative. I see that really end customers, more than ever, understand about heat pumps, and they want to have a heat pump.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions?
Yeah, just one regarding.
There's one here as well first.
Regarding the tado investment of 30 million euros, can you be more specific what that investment, you say it will enable you to bring more products to the market, but is there specific investments you're making with it?
Yes, for sure. So we're investing into our next generation of products and services. So on one hand, to make our products better compatible with the different systems, with the Korea heat pump systems, then also to improve further onto, for example, more on the cooling side. There we have additional investments on the products to be made. Then also on the overall energy management integration layer, so integrating with electric vehicles, with the PV systems. It's already there are very good solutions, but it's not yet at the end of what can be achieved also in terms of overall efficiency for the building. So it's really about developing a even better product suite as we have today. And then in addition, also to invest into further growth and marketing and sales activities in the different regions across Europe.
Just if no one else, then my question was regarding Germany. Which other country that has a comparable energy mix and a little bit of a comparable situation has done the best job in the last 5 years, 10 years to accelerate this transition, especially to heat pumps, and what have they done?
Very difficult question, Nico. There, I think, depends on the year, depends on the approach, but if we took in general, for instance, now UK is doing well because they are having a stable and predictable subsidy scheme, and they are working on communicating to the people. So I think this is making two of the most important informations when we come to enhance the heat pump market: communication and predictable solutions or support. The Nordic countries have made excellent job. So in fact, if you look at the Nordic countries, you will see countries like Sweden. I don't want to give wrong numbers, but I would say up to 70 or 80% of the heating systems are heat pumps, different type of heat pumps. But again, they have been subsidizing, regulating with logical energy prices and predictable frameworks. So that is the work they have been doing. France has been doing quite well, and I would say until 2022, 2023, then they started to change the frame for the subsidy schemes. So if I have to reply, most of the countries have been doing well time by time when they kept those principles: stable, predictable, logical energy prices. Today, if I have to make a choice, UK? Probably UK.
Vielen Dank. Ich habe noch mal eine Frage zu der Kooperation mit Tado. Bisher waren Ihre Systeme und Wärmepumpenmanager und Optimierer ja sehr systemoffen. Das heißt, die waren nicht nur für Panasonic geeignet, sondern auch für Sonier oder für, ja, hoch und runter die ganze Herstellerliste. Wird sich das durch das Engagement von Panasonic ändern?
Nein, also die Kernstrategie. Oh, sorry, I reply in English. Is it okay? So the core strategy of Tado is to be the vendor agnostic platform, because we want to be able to serve every customer, every building and household across Europe, no matter actually what kind of car they drive, no matter what kind of PV system they have there on the roof, what kind of heat pump they have in their basement, or heating system. Also, we also support gas heating and oil heating. And so there we want to be an open platform so that Tado works for every household across Europe. Nevertheless, we have some specific developments which are specific to Panasonic heat pumps, and like the Teep cap technology, which you've heard before, that Tado integrates with these specifics of Panasonic. And this is the speciality here in this partnership from a product perspective, kind of a very deep and specific integration with Panasonic. In addition, of course, it's about bringing these all-in-one solutions, a very free solution, together to customers while they are building their house or they're renovating their house, so they're getting the whole thing out of one hand. And this is what we're doing here in this partnership. But to your question, we remain an open platform.
Maybe I'm repeating some part of your words, Christian. We are very happy with the open platform. So I think making the product widely known is favoring us because we are keeping the uniquenesses. So uniquenesses that are for, without entering in details, we keep uniqueness for the consumer. Some things can only be done when you have Panasonic. We are keeping uniqueness with the installer. Some things can only be done when it happens with Panasonic. So then we are benefiting of a widely spread solution where we can offer uniqueness if you use it with Panasonic. So I think it's a win-win situation.
Okay, good. So then I say thank you very much to our management. One more?
One more.
Okay, please.
Because you gave that question, and I have a request. Maybe, in fact, one of the challenges today, and maybe we are talking later, is about making the heat pump known and eliminating barriers. And there, you are a big way to reach consumers, to reach installers. So please support us. Not Panasonic, the business. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That's enough for our Q&A session. Then I say thank you very much to our management. You might go back to the audience because now we have some technical things to set up. Please stay all seated because we will continue in a second. Next to come is our panel discussion, headlined with the question, why people are driving the heating decarbonization. And we have invited some very, very interesting participants who will share their views on this question with us. But first, let me welcome our moderator of today's panel, Anja Floetenmeyer-Woltmann. Please come on stage. She's an expert and speaker for strategic communication in energy transition and climate protection. She was recently running the nationwide week of the heat pump for the BMWK of German energy agency DENA. She is the former managing director of Climate Protection Agency at Hanover Region, further appointed member of the EU Heat Pump Accelerator, and she's an EU ambassador for the European Climate Pact. So we think she's a perfect match to host today's panel. The stage is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I don't know, do we do it with handheld microphones now? Do we have a quick break or we can start? Great, thank you. Welcome everyone. I can see a lot of people here in the room. I can't see a lot of people outside at the monitors. Welcome everyone. It's a pleasure to have you all here for this important discussion on innovation and sustainability. People drive innovation. And today we'll explore how we can accelerate adoption of sustainable technologies. And let me introduce our distinguished panelists. First, I welcome Nico Rosberg. Nico, he is a venture capitalist, sustainability entrepreneur, and former, you all know that, Formula One world champion. After his racing career, he shifted his focus to sustainable innovation and investment. And through Rosberg Ventures, he connects world-class startups with European businesses, helping to drive positive change in mobility, in energy, and technology. Nico is an early adopter of electric mobility and an advocate for smart integrated energy solutions. Nico, glad to have you here. Welcome to the stage. Take a seat, please. Next, we have Enrique Vilamitjana, Managing Director of Panasonic Heating, Ventilation, Air Conditioning Europe. You know him all very well already. He's got over 30 years in the industry. He's leading Panasonic's efforts to drive decarbonization and support the European climate neutrality goals. His work focuses on bringing clean technologies like heat pumps into mainstream. And he's also a board member of the European Heat Pump Association. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you.
Please take a seat. And finally, it's Christian Deilmann again. Christian, co-founder and managing director of tado. They are revolutionizing the home. We've heard that already, 1 million customers. We're glad to have you here. You are collaborating with Panasonic now. Glad to have you on stage. Please take a seat.
Thank you.
Are these? Yes, great.
I can do that.
Oh, thank you very much. Nico, first question goes to you. What does it take, from your point of view, to convince people to adopt new technologies? It's all a bit difficult, isn't it? Getting people to change their ways. What do you make of it?
Yeah, hello everybody. Pleasure to be here. And I am here because it is so important that we electrify the world now. That's absolutely critical. It's a critical time. And I have 2 daughters at home. They're 7 and 9. And so after my Formula 1 career, I'm really passionate now of being involved in projects where I can have a real impact, hopefully also to inspire my little children one day. And therefore, yeah, I mean, even this morning I was driving to the airport with the EQV down in my house. And if then you think about it, then 40% of the energy that was used to charge the battery of my EQV was from fossil fuels, you know, and that's not good. That's a disaster, you know. And there's this opportunity now to decarbonize, and this is why I love being here today to support this partnership between tado and Panasonic. Panasonic being my rival in Formula 1 at the time. But I beat you. But now I hope we have success together. So it's great to be here.
And you're bringing together with your ventures innovation, money, and companies. And how do you do that? And what drives you?
Yes, I'm very involved in climate tech startups, so flywheels for energy storage or solar energy companies. And in fact, now thanks to this connection now with Panasonic, I very much look to engage also and introduce our startups, not only the ones where I'm invested, but also the ones that I see that they're leading the way, and introduce them as well to Panasonic. We just had a discussion before. There's so many synergies, and therefore I think that's also going to be a great possibility to collaborate. And I do a lot of work with the Technische Universität München, which is our best university in Germany. And Christian is one of our rockstar founders from the Technische Universität München, correct?
True.
Yes. In fact, they always proudly talked about you. And so this is a super honor as well that now I can be sitting next to you here today and get to meet you. Because whenever they have PDF presentations, tado is right up there from the Technische Universität München. So it's a great pleasure to meet you as well.
Great. So we've got rock stars in the room, plenty, I see. How can Europe compete with the Silicon Valley? Because obviously we want to. And when it comes to innovation and scaling startups, what do you do? And how can
Yeah,
we
so
compete?
interestingly, as you said before, you were the one I think who said UK did it so well. Unfortunately, communication also is such a crucial aspect to accelerate this transition. And we often underappreciate that, you know, and it starts from the government all the way down to someone like me, who has so many millions of followers, and it's a great opportunity for me to support in educating also all of my followers. You have 1 million customers. I'm lucky I have even more followers on social media. I have 10 million. So there's a great opportunity, you know, for me also to slowly but surely, you know, communicate, because there's so many comparables. Electric vehicles, yeah, I'm there since the very beginning. I invested in Formula E since the get-go, which has also become a success. And also there was the worries. What about the range? What about the cost? And in heat pumps, it's the same. When I'm building my house, will I get enough electricity? Will it be too expensive to get the heat pump? So it's very comparable. And it's so important there to communicate very, very well, because that's the flywheel. You know, that's really going to help the flywheel to get everybody embracing this movement. And then how many times I bought an electric car, my best friend, of course, also buys the electric car. You know, so if my friend in Köln puts the heat pump, all his friends down the street will also put the heat pump. You know, it's a dynamic which we really need to accelerate, and that's where I can also, thanks to my past, play a really big role. And in Europe, I mean, okay, Silicon Valley, I'm there very often, and I mean, it's incredibly dynamic there, and we of course have our limitations here in Europe. The bureaucracy, we all know these, yeah. So again, together there, we just need to accelerate and bring a great dynamic there. And for example, now I'm involved supporting also in the startup world. It's called Project Europe. It was just started, and everybody in the startup community getting together. And it's all these kind of initiatives that we need to accelerate also in Europe.
And maybe can I add here? So what we saw in the Netherlands for our smart thermostat rollout, the Netherlands now 30% of all households have smart thermostats installed. And what we saw that at about 15% penetration rate, there was an acceleration, because this is kind of a critical mass of adoption, around about 15 or maybe 20%. And after that, rollout goes faster because people start talking about this new product category. And something similar also needs to happen, of course, on the heat pump side and on the EV charging side. So I think we somehow need to reach these critical masses in adoption, and then we see the clear acceleration.
It's actually quite well researched. The social tipping points, they begin to tip from 25%. It's been there for decades. But to get there, we will need subsidies and policies. And Enrique, what do you wish for?
I want the 1 million friends of Nico. 1 million heat pumps, that's good. Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I think I think it's very good, Nico, because you bet us with the Formula One, so then it's good you are with us now. So let's win together. Yeah, I think I was repeating before. We need simple things. We need predictability. We need energy prices. We don't need big subsidies. Yes, we need subsidies that are not changing every second week. We need, and that is what you were saying before, Nico, what I was saying to you, we need communication. So it's not coming by itself. We need to repeat and repeat and repeat until the consumer is repeating the story to us. So it's a simple thing, difficult to implement, but I have a strong hope. I'm always saying inevitable success.
Thank you. Nico, we need sustainable energy. You spoke of your 2 daughters. We also need innovation in sustainable energy. And why do you think this is more urgent now than ever?
It's urgent because of the climate change, but there's also an enormous opportunity now, and this is again where I'm involved in the startups, and it's so fascinating, the inflections that we're going through now, which is the ones that you have captured as well with Tado. And that's what also communication is about, to make it exciting, bring across the excitement and opportunity set that there is at the moment, you know, in this transition. And yeah, so I wouldn't say, I would even change from going away from urgent just to, it's such an incredible opportunity that we're facing positively even, that I wish for us to really capture that, especially in Germany.
Great. Enrique, we've heard earlier that Panasonic is huge in Nordic countries. Hardly anybody in heating, hardly known in Germany. And more than 90% of heating systems in Japan are heat pumps. So what do people in Japan love about heat pumps, and what needs to happen for heat pumps to become the standard in Europe from your point of view?
Okay, with taking the risk of repeating myself, okay, I think the first is the communication. So I think if you go to Japan, and we have several Japanese here, probably they have no doubt they need to buy a heat pump if they talk about domestic hot water. So, and that is supported by the policymakers, clearly, without any doubt. They don't need to think if we talk about Germany, if I will get the vote or not. It's clearly the way to move. Energy prices are good. The systems are affordable. So we are always talking about the same formula. If you make something well-known, publicly supported, affordable, with a short return on investment, the people goes for it. That's, I think, the recipe is a simple one.
Great, thank you, Christian. The new technologies are superior to fossil fuel systems. We know that. And from your point of view, what are the biggest obstacles to preventing consumers from investing in a smart home?
Yeah, so the biggest enemy is still the awareness, and also on the heating side, it's an unemotional topic. So the heating systems, they sit in the basements, and when you go across the street and you ask what is the brand of your heating system, many people will tell you, I don't know. Also, if you ask them how much do you spend per year on your heating bill, many people cannot answer this to you. So our biggest enemy is this awareness piece, and this is what we have to crack, because objectively, let's say if you make your heating system smart, if you buy a tado smart thermostat solution, you reduce your energy consumption every year by 22% on average. So therefore, the system, the tado system, pays for itself within the first year. So a return on investment of like 1 year, sometimes 2 years. So it's a very logical thing to have, but it's as it's an unemotional topic. The awareness is our biggest enemy, and we had some good ideas here today how to overcome this, and this is what we're continuously doing. That's also why we're here today.
So how do we increase the desirability?
Yeah, of course. I mean, besides just the savings, so how do we make it more emotional? Yeah. So in the tado case, we try to, for example, make like really good design. We want to have the thermostats which are installed in the different rooms look very good, that they look attractive, that people say, hey, this is something I want to have in my house. And also our application on the phone is very easy and very fun to use, and thereby making it not a technical device, but really a trying to make it. One of my previous professors actually said, to make medicine delicious. You have to make medicine delicious in order to have people eat this medicine. And this is what we're trying to do through good design, through good user experience, ease of use of the devices. This starts with installation and goes on through the daily use of the tado application on the phone. So this is how we are trying to achieve that, and to get out of this unemotional corner in the basement. Yeah, happy for new ideas as well.
Okay, so customers are driving the take-up as well, aren't they? So how do you recognize somebody who's got a heat pump, a solar system, or an electric vehicle? They will tell you within the first 10 minutes and show you their app. And hopefully that's a tado one. Nico, what trends do you expect to happen within the next years? We've heard you are in AI and you are in sustainable technologies at the forefront. So what do you see what we don't know about yet?
Well, we were speaking as well now the adoption of AI, how even tado now in its automation is applying AI, and that's getting a couple of % more out of it in terms of savings per house, which eventually, at the end of the day, is massive. So very excited about these use cases as they're penetrating from the superficial really into the doing. That's great. And I mean, also in energy, as I was saying, that I'm invested in a flywheel that's going to go under the ocean. Then there's Panasonic, of course, is the leader in EV batteries also, which is another reason why I'm here and why I know so much about Panasonic. And there's also a lot of innovation potential in the next years coming. We know there's always that rumor about the solid state battery and all of that, so which would be another giant leap in efficiency and energy density, essentially. So all of these things, and that's why I can only repeat, we're in such a exciting time at the moment.
You are connecting startups with larger corporations, don't you? And how do you do that exactly? And what do the larger corporations learn from the startups and vice versa?
Yeah, so we're doing that really successfully. So especially to the world's leading startups, really, and really focusing on the largest corporates in Germany. And I've been quite surprised that there's a little bit of a lack of visibility onto the best startups in the world from these large corporates. So we've really been able to add value. So what we do is, first of all, engage with the corporate. What are your needs? What exactly are you looking for? And then, because I'm so deeply involved in the startup world, we have more than 2,000 companies underlying all of the best in the world that we can access very, very easily and that we're seeing and tracking and watching. So then, depending on the needs of our large corporates, we will go into our pool of 2,000 startups and we will extract which ones are the best fit, whether I'm invested or not. And that has been working really well. We have a senior ex-partner from PwC who's now part of our management team, who's leading that value add. And it's been great. And some of the corporates we've been working with is someone like Henkel or SAP or Mercedes. And it's been a fantastic opportunity also to understand better what's happening out there in the market, what are the needs of our largest corporates in Germany, and that's something I hope to collaborate also with Panasonic with going forward.
So you weren't involved in bringing together Tado and Panasonic, as I understand.
I wish I was, but I cannot say that I was, no. I was not at all.
So Panasonic, Enrique, you did that yourselves together. And what role does industry collaboration play in accelerating the change of Panasonic, the change of markets? How do you work there?
But if I go to this, the same similar question you gave to Nico and these collaborations with companies like Tado, I think it's in fact it's really enriching because it's a complete different way, right? So it's the freshness or the proactively and speed of a startup is very different of what the big corporations we are doing, and that's why probably Nico what you said. So we are so concentrating in doing our job today that we are not having time to look outside. And I think that is, if I try to reply to your question is, yeah, I think it would be really good to get more about what's happening outside consistently, to open our eyes more to what is going much beyond. So I think it's definitely, I'm very interested in getting the view of what's happening outside, to go out of what was happening yesterday. So I think that collaboration is really important.
Yeah. Nico, you've been doing this for quite a while now, I think for 9 years or something. So what is, to generalize a bit, what do the larger corporations need? What does Europe need? And what have the startups got to offer from Europe and as well as the Silicon Valley? You're bringing these together, and what have you learned on your journey?
One recent example is, of course, the need to become more and more accurate in carbon accounting, carbon footprint accounting, reporting, and especially in scope 3, which is highly complicated to get towards a greater accuracy there. And that is an example where in the startup world, they are at the forefront. And one company in particular, it's called Watershed, and that is the one that we have been very successfully connecting in Europe, who are doing a fantastic job and who are becoming somewhat of a gold standard there. And it's in scope 3, that is the place, thanks to their incredible data set that they have acquired and are learning on, that they are leading the way and are just definitely like the most accurate in estimating the exact Scope 3 carbon footprint. So that's one example of where we've really been able to add value with our connecting and with the large corporates.
So do you think that the larger corporations all over Europe you are in touch with are already on the journey to climate neutrality, or is the awareness still lacking in some areas? What would you make of it?
It really depends. There's some who are really lagging still, and some others who are very dynamic. Because there's a lot of pressure building now from the government, from the consumers, and that's fantastic. This is accelerating that necessity. But of course, yeah, we still need more because everything is going too slow. We know that. But I'm optimistic.
Yeah. Enrique, we know that the CO2 pricing is coming. ETS2 is coming in 27. People aren't that aware of it, but you can provide solutions for larger companies and their buildings, can't you? And is that a driver? Do they recognize that as a necessity to be done by 27, or at least having a great start and a good plan?
I think yes. I think yes. So in fact, we have been introducing, as Jose presented before, R290 solutions, big size, and frankly speaking, the acceptance is very big. And I think that most of the corporations are aware. I will not say 100%, similar to what you say. Some are very aware and are moving very fast. Some of them not, but yes, I think in general there is a real acceptance of this type of solutions. And I think, and when I'm hearing, in fact, you and me went together to Heat Pump Accelerator, and what we heard, in fact, what we are needing is more solutions. So in fact, we are bringing a lot of solutions, but the market is requesting even more. So I think we have a big opportunity. I agree with what Nico said, the opportunity is huge. If we are able to move fast and bring those solutions, the market is going to reward because they are open to take them.
Yeah. Christian, if you had to name one key takeaway for our audience today, what would it be? And I'm asking you to the same question in a minute. So.
So I think to drive the energy transition across Europe, it's the combination of a pull and a push concept. So of course it needs to be pushed by governments, by regulation, subsidy, because we want to fight global climate change. Also because we want to become energy independent as Europe and independent from fossil fuels, which we need to import from other regions in the world which you do not actually want to import from. So and then you have the push element or the pull element actually, why consumers and people are also driving this energy transition. So we need to build products and propositions which are attractive to customers, so that customers want to have these products because they're cheaper to operate. A heat pump only uses a third of the energy. Smart thermostats reduce your heating consumption by 22%. Electric vehicles also use way less energy, and so on. So it's this concept of push and pull, and this is what we have to put together, I think, in Europe, as coming from governments more on the push side, and the pull side we as companies have to achieve. So. And I think this is what we have to get right, both elements. This would be my conclusion here.
So what's your main takeaway? One for the public and one for corporate organizations, please.
For corporate organizations, I think it's awesome seeing your approach as Panasonic. Today I learned that you are creating jobs in Europe, a lot of jobs with your service entity that you're now building up, with your factories, your R&D research. That's awesome, because you're bringing of course, your know-how from Japan, but really integrating it deeply into Europe. That was fantastic to see. So I think that's a great role model example of what we want to see also in Europe. This is definitely what we want, and that will help consumers embrace your products 100%, because they know, okay, these guys are really taking Europe seriously, are embracing, care about Europe. this is fantastic to see. So I think that's the main message from a corporate perspective. And consumer, I would just recommend, and we need all of your help here today, as you were saying as well, spend some time to use the opportunity to educate yourself a little bit, because it's also very often the fears are because of a lack of education. So take your little bit of time to all once in a while educate yourself. What's out there? What are the solutions? Is it really like others are saying that it's more expensive, or hey, I might not have electricity at my house or whatever? Because actually most of the time it's not. It's false. It's incorrect. And in fact, it's just a great, better solution. So that's the message to the people out there listening today.
Thank you. Enrique.
Hello, everybody watching from home.
Enrique, what's your key takeaway for the audience, please?
Okay, so we talk about energy prices and predictable subsidies and predictable regulations and stable subsidies, etc. But that is only the cherry on the cake. So to me, important is we cannot put excuses to not win this match. So we need to bring innovation. We need to bring cooperation. We need to use this power to inform the consumers, even each of your friends, every day. That is what will make this depend on us. And then the final point is, I think we need to be clear that electrification, and I want to insist on something you said before, not any type of electrification, green electrification, and heat pump and electric vehicle is a critical part of our future. We need to get independent. We need to be strong, and we need to secure a future for my daughter, my son, yours, and that is, and I want to insist, depending on us. That would be my takeaway.
Thank you. Very inspiring. It's not, please do clap. What we've learned today is, I think, one of the main takeaways is that we are stronger if we are collaborating and driving it with force, aren't we? So thank you all for this very inspiring discussion. And I think it's clear that innovation, policy, and consumer trust must go hand in hand. And then we are going to drive real change. And thanks to our panelists and our audience, we are seeing now a lot of that put into action. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.